Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Joe, and in this video we're going to be modeling something relatively simple. Happy New Year to everybody out there. How are you guys doing? All glory to God for making us see the new year. What has been going on today? We're going to be modeling something simple. It's just a Mac, an Apple. I think it's an AirPod Max, something like this. But first, hope you guys are great. What's new? What's going on? For me, what's new is I've picked up a new hobby and it's been really interesting. So mid last year I started learning how to draw, and it's been the most exciting but yet humbling experience. This is one of like 5 sketchbooks I have, and I've just been going through my lines, learning how to draw ellipses, learning how to draw. I'm sure I've drawn up to 1,000 boxes by now. So it's just I've never drawn a day in my life, so it's really foreign to me. So I'm going through the fundamentals. I think I'm going to be doing fundamentals for a month plus. I'm booking out like I'm going to be doing fundamentals for like a year and a half. I'm plotting out a year and a half to just focus on fundamentals right now. Okay, before I start this modeling, let me just talk about it a little bit. Right now, I'm going through the Proco course. Proco is a YouTube channel, and they give the drawing basics at a fairly expensive price. It's pretty expensive, but that's a good foundation for me. It feels a lot project intensive, but it's good. It's not bad at all. Right after that, I'll go to Peter Hand's dynamic sketching. All of these are still fundamentals. Then after that, I'll do draw a box. Then after draw a box, I want to do there's a book by Scott Robinson that I want to go through. It's how to draw. I will go through that, and then after that I start doing my own stuff. I think that's enough fundamental to start doing your own stuff. I'm going to quit all of that yapping, and we're going to move on to our video for today. So firstly, I already have my schematics up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the side view right here, and I'm going to bring in a torus. I'm going to start with a torus to build just the side foam panel, something for the left and for the right. So I'm going to bring in a torus right here, and I'm going to switch this to view, and right here in the center I'm not going to scale this up. I'm going to overshoot it because what I want to do is move to edit mode and then select this entire loop right here. Then with my proportional edits on, I can scale, but I will increase the proportional edits so that we can have the desired shape. Now, if you look at the shape on this pod, it is not necessarily like an actual square. It has a secular vibe to it. So that's what I'm trying to achieve, and I'll do that like so. I'll bring that down even more, and then I can make that commit and then scale it up. Right now, we have the shape. The only thing is that when you go to the side, you'll see that we also scaled it on the x-axis, which is not what we want. So I can Ctrl Z and bring that back. And then we'll do the scale again, but we'll just commit it to only the y axis. So this is it, and I think this is good. We can add a subdivision to this, and it looks great for a start. So I have this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to Shift D and move to the x axis, and for the second one, GY, I'm going to clear out these loops right here. I'm going to clear out this and this, clear out the vertices, and on this, I think I'm going to clear this out also, but what I want to do is grid fill this like so. So that grid is filled up. What I want to do now is, you see this curve right here? It is not a straight plane like this. It has a subtle curve to it. So I'm going to achieve that by using our proportional edits and G to bring that all the way out like so. Okay, I like this feels a bit too harsh, so I'm going to do that again. G, scale it up, push this out. Something subtle. So we have our desired shape. What I'm going to do next is just shade smooth, right? So the next is just to go to the top view and see if we move this in, if it's going to fit in. I think it fits in properly, and we can go to the X on this side, and that's perfect too. I hope this is capturing my voice properly. So we are going to, I think next thing I'm going to do now is come to the top view and I want to get all these fixtures working. I want to get all these fixtures and just not necessarily working, but just get that detail in place. But before I do that, I want to shift DX and move a copy of this to the side, just like so. So I can GX and move this into place, and then I can start creating this detail. So for this, we need to create a circle right here. So we can just select these 4 squares, and I can insert again, and then I can change it to a circle. We have a circle, and I can scale this up and insert one and then insert another one again. So we have this detail captured on this side. We have some stretching right here, which I can contain with a loop on this side and with a loop on this side. I think we also have a little bit of stretching right here, which I can dissolve this edge, and we have our nice circle right there. Another detail that I would like to capture is this. So now to get this, I'll select this two, or maybe this two. I will just slide out a little bit just so I can have enough space, and with this I can insert, right, and maybe a little bit of subdivide, and I can insert one and insert another one, and that is this detail for that. So what I want to do next, I think I will remove these extra loops that I created, delete loops, and then I think with that I can tighten up. Let me switch off this subdivision and see why I'm not able to have a whole loop right here. Okay, I think I'm not able to have a whole loop because of this one. So I can turn on my subdivision back, and I want to tighten up this edge. So that edge is tight enough. I think another place of detail that is important is right here. So I can just select this face, and with this I can insert, can E, and then E. Okay, that is pretty much cool, except of course I need to contain this loop right here. Dissolve edge, GG, tighten that. So what I want to do next now is to, I think with this I can rotate this into position just like so. R, let me use, I can bring origin to geometry and just rotate it just like so. I think something else I didn't capture is this hole right here. So I have references here, this hole right here, so that we can insert this loop, this head loop. So I'm just going to create that right now. I don't need to change the position, I can just do that here. And what we're going to do, same thing we've been doing, we're going to insert, change this into a circle. I can come to this view, turn on transparency, and I can extrude on the z-axis one, extrude on the z-axis again, just like so, and I can SZ0 flatten that out. So we have that detail. I'm going to contain the entire thing into one space, and then I'm also going to have a loop right here. So with that loop selected, I'm going to bring cursor to that point, and I'm going to bring in a cylinder. I want to create this metal right here. So I can come to the front view, scale SZ and GZ right here, just scale, and I think this is perfect. Only thing is that this space right here, we can bring this up, and with the face selected I can bevel that, but let me apply the scale first and just bevel. So with that selected, I can GZ, and then I think this is connected to some kind of Let me see. I think it's a cube that is compressed on the wire like so and extrude. So I think this is the joining right here. A Z. I think on the side view, I'll just want to rotate that. G. All right, perfect. So for this, I'm just going to JZ, bring this up. I'm going to add this, and with this, I'm going to extrude along the normals like so. So I can JZ. All right, so shade smooth or shade auto smooth, and I think this is, except this, I think I need extra loops here to make this work. Okay, and I also think this needs a subdivision just to hold everything together. So I'm going to add loops, support loops to this point right here, and can just add that, and that's pretty much the shape I'm trying to achieve. So the next now is to create this loop all the way around. I'm going to bring my cursor to this point, hope I'm still recording. Okay, I'm still recording, and I'm going to add in a plane, change that to my view, scale that in GZ. I'm going to change this to vertices, and with that I can press M and bring all the 4 vertices to the center. So I can resolve all 4 vertices right to the center, and I can G bring this to this point, and with this vertex selected, I can extrude 1, extrude 2, and extrude 3. So with this extrusion, I'll just come here and make sure that I'm on point. Looks like I am not on point. I'm going to space this out and then GG, bring this down. So what I want to do is extrude to just form this loop shape right here, and to the side I want to make sure that that is on point. It is not on point as expected, so I would GX. I'm going to GX this, GX, and I'm going to GX, just like so. I think with this 2 points, I want to create a subdivision to just create one more on this side. Right here, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So the idea is to create this shape and then convert to a curve, which will add geometry to that curve, to this shape rather. Right now it's a mesh, but after this I'm going to convert to a curve. So I can just GX, move all of this into place, move them all into place. And I don't even think this is even a right way to go about this, but it's cool. I think it's still going to work, especially if I can just select both of them and SZ0, just resolve them to the same point, so we don't have, you know, that discrepancy between the both position. SZ0, and I think same way applies to this. This is going to be an SX0. So I can just select this both, and I think we pretty much have the shape. What I want to do next now is bring our cursor to the center of the scene. So our cursor is at the center of the scene, and right click, I can set the origin to the 3D cursor. What I want to be able to do is to just mirror this with my hard ops tool. I know all of you guys by now know that I use hard ops, so I can GX, and that's cool. So for the view, I'm going to frame everything to selected, and I'm going to convert this to a curve. And in the curve menu I can add geometry to this. So we have depth right here. I'm going to just adjust things into place and maybe even add a subdivision, but I think this thickness is good. I'm going to add in a subdivision, see what that's looking like. I think it looks fresh, it looks good. Next I am going to create this mesh right here. So the way I'm going to do it, I wish I could work in cycles here. I would have just created the mesh in Illustrator and then import that, and then maybe knock that out with the alpha. I could have knocked that out with the alpha, but I'm going to create it as an actual mesh. So what I'm going to do first, I think with this I'm pretty much good with this shape. So I will apply, no, I won't apply the subdivision. I'll just bring in a plane and GZ, right here, scale it down, scale it on the x-axis just like so, and I can bring this GZ, bring this down, scale this in, GZ all the way up. So I think we got this, and I can apply this and bring this up all the way to this point. So this is pretty much a good place for us to start, and I can bevel that to achieve a curve like so. Let's bevel that again. So this is a good bevel, and right at the tip right here, I can select that top, and with proportional editing selected, I can just bring all of that up to achieve that round curve that we want. All right, so we got our shape. I think what I want to do next is just apply a subdivision, round off those edges, and then I want to add in a loop. Subdivide as much as possible. I think this is a good subdivision. I can shade smooth and then apply the subdivision. What I'm going to do some kind of a Boolean operation to cut in holes in all of this. So I'm going to go to the z-axis. I'm going to add in a cylinder, reduce that to 32, maybe divided by 2. Do I want to divide it by 2? 32 divided by 2 is 16. Is 16 enough? No, so I'm going to keep it 32. I think that's the resolution I'm going to use for this. And the reason I don't want to use 16 is it might look, I think when you begin to take shots of it, it might look too low poly, so to speak. It might look too low poly. So I'm going to select this, scale it down. I'm going to turn off my proportional editing and Shift D. I'll bring this here, select all. I can Shift D on the y-axis. I think it's pretty good. So I can repeat the operation just like so. And I can select all again and repeat the operation on the x-axis. Let me come close so I can see. Shift D on the x-axis and then repeat the operation all the way. Okay, so I want to have this holes pretty small so that it actually looks like a mesh for real. So I can bring this to this side. I can scale this on the z-axis. Just scale it on the z, just like so. I can select all and just bring the origin to geometry and scale on the Z. I can G on the Z just like so. And I'm going to select this mesh, select the outer one also. Let me just scale this in so we can get maximum impact. Apply scale. I'm going to select this. I'm going to run a difference Boolean operation. Right here, I'm going to hide all of that cutter. I will just have to shave off the bottom of the cutter, but what I want to do first is maybe recall the cutter and move it into position a little bit. So I can GX and just move it into position right here, just so it covers both sides. GX. Computer is really dragging, so I'll just go down to the object and just commit that boolean, and then with this cutter I can take that cutter off. So with this I can just come to the top, shave off this top, can go into transparency mode, all of this top shaved off and all of this bottom shaved off. So we have our clean mesh. With this I will just add a solidify modifier to this. So we're just going to add a solidify and we can make it T-car. Okay, the solidify mesh things off so I can clean up the mesh, merge by distance, and then I can shade auto smooth. I think that's good. Okay, we have our mesh back. So if you go down here, you would see that for this there are two layers of mesh that appears here. There's the outer cloth coating and there's that inner one that is like, it's also a mesh but it's kind of a lower density than the outer one. So what I want to do, I'm going to just pick out from this loop that we already have here. I can Shift D, separate that selection, and I can just come to the side right here, G, and with this all selected I can grid fill. I can run that again, grid fill that, and I think it's pretty cool. What I just want to do is probably just subdivide it so we'll have enough instances of that. So remember the cutter that we initially created, I can just recall that. I already had that copied and pasted. I can come rotate this, scale this up, and I will just fit this into position just like so. So I can select the mesh, select this as the cutter, and what I can do is just run a difference operation. We have our difference operation. I can come to the mesh here. So I'm just going to clear the extra vertices out just like so, and we are left with this mesh right here. I'm going to add a solidify modifier to this, increase the thickness, and I'm going to scale it out of bounds a little bit. So this is one of the layer we want. So remember, we're going for 2 layers. The second layer is this. So if you look at this very closely right here, you would see that aside the outside mesh, there's also something inside. There's also like a mesh inside that gives a different pattern. So it looks like essentially the same pattern, but the outer mesh, the one on the outside, is a lot more dense, and the one is sparsely dense. So I'm just going to recreate that. I'm going to move this to the side, and I'll go to my mesh. I think we already have this pretty much established already. I'll just go to the side view. I will Control D and I will scale this tremendously. Right? What I'm trying to do now is to I'll remove this solidify modifier, but I want to create an intersect of what I would just need out of this entire mesh. So I'll come here, I'll select this, and from this I'll select this loop right here. Select the loop. I'll bring out the loop up onto this point, and then I'll separate that loop, select it, and select all, then fill. So what I'm going to do next is extrude. In extruding, I notice that it still has the subdivision modifier on it, so I'm just going to take that out, and then I can create my intersect. I can select this, select the outer one, Q, and I'll come to the booleans and create an intersection. So this is what I need. Okay, so we have this. I'm just going to apply my boolean, and I'll take out this, so I can take this into the space right here, G, add a little bit of solidify to it. Or does it need? I think it does need a solidify modifier to give it a bit more presence behind. I just need to add a little bit of solidify modifier, and I think we have that. That's cool. So what we need to do now is just to create the second one. For the second ear muff, we'll just rotate this on the z-axis by 180, RZ 180, and I'll rotate this on this like so, and I will G, move this into position. Right? For this right here, we already created this. I'll just join, or I can apply this and then join both mesh, because I want to mirror it to the other side. So we have the same thing on this side, right? So what I want to do first, I think I want to also mirror the mesh that we've created here. So I can select this, and then I can select this top one and just mirror to the other side. So whatever it is we have here, we have on the other side. I feel like this should be inside a bit more, so I can select this, come to the side view, and just push this in even more. I think what I'm going to do, I would like to animate this, but not on the same video. I think the next video on the channel will be me creating some kind of a product animation for this. But for now, we're just going to wrap this up right here. I think, yeah, I'll do some shading. So I'm wrapping up some. I'll do some shading. Okay, so that's cool. I like this. I will just select the entire thing. What's this? These are some flying. Delete. I think I saw something else too. Okay, so I can select this, Control D, and I'll move this entire thing to like a dump file in case I need to recall anything at a later time. New collection, dump. Move all of those to the dump. Okay, Now I can turn off that dump folder entirely. So I'll just select all my mesh, and then I'll shift A or control A rather. Now apply all the visual geometry to mesh, and now we have everything. I can just start shading. I would open up my camera on this side, or not necessarily a camera, material preview on this side, and I think I'm going to go for, what color do I go for? I'm going to go for this blue kind of feel. So I'm going to come to the shader, add this, and I think this is around this kind of color right here. No, right here. Bring the value down, make it darker. I'm pushing up the metallic 101% and bringing down roughness a little bit. So this is cool. I like this. I'm noticing some things that might be missing, and number one is this button right here. So I quickly want to create this button and get back to the shading. I'll bring in a cylinder first. Scale that. No, I need that to be 64, and then scale that down all the way down. Oh no, I can leave it like this. I'll scale it down into space when I'm done. So I can bevel this just like so, and in this I can insert just a tiny bit, and then in here I would extrude inward. So we have that. Next thing I'm going to do is, so one of this plane here I am going to insert like so and extrude inward, but I don't want to do it to all of them because it's going to take me a long time. I'll have to go one by one. So I'll do it for just one, and then I would rotate across the entire mesh. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to select this. You know what? I'll undo up to this point. So I can select this, right? Select this too. I can invert that, and then I can delete all of those faces, right? So this right here, I can come to the top view, insert, and then extrude along the normals. Not that, extrude along the normals. So I think we pretty much have something that looks good. I'll change to edge and select the outer mesh and just bevel that. I also think I want to bevel this also, and just bevel. Okay, that's not going to work. So I can select this edge right here and just bevel. Okay, cool. Can shade that smooth, and all of this I'm just going to select more. I'm going to rotate. So in rotating, I want to rotate. Remember the size of this cylinder is 64. So I am going to rotate this by 360 divided by 64, and that will give us the right angle to where each of the rotation is on the right spot for me, because it all needs to be on the right spot so that I can merge by distance and take out all the duplicates that are here. So I can shift DR. We don't want to rotate around the bounding box, so we'll undo that, and then we'll switch this to rotate around the 3D cursor, because the 3D cursor is the 3D cursor of the entire cylinder. So we have that to be a standard position. I can shift DR, and we are rotating around the 3D cursor now. I can just commit it to anywhere, but what I want to do now is come to the angle, and I'm going to do 360 divided by 64, and that will give me the angle that will make the duplicate be at the next available point. I don't know if I'm making sense, but with this now I can do Shift R, and it just duplicates around our established circle perfectly. And once we get to this point, you will see that it fills in perfectly. So all the vertices are on the same point. I can select all and M and this will just make everything merge by distance, and we have one mesh. You see that we cleared out almost 382 vertices because they're all on top of each other. So right here on the surface, I'm going to insert this a little bit, and I'm going to select this, and I'm going to extrude inward. So with this, I can just select this face and just bevel that a tiny bit, and then the edge right here I can just extrude outward just like so and fill that. So we have something good. I like this. I can select this, selection to cursor, and then I just need to rotate this into place basically. So what I can do is copy this one's rotation. So I can Control C, Command O, is it Alt C? Okay, so I need to find the shortcut. I know that I can copy rotation from one mesh to another, but I need to find what it is. Okay, for that to work, I need to turn on copy attribute in the preference. Where is it? Add-on. I think it's to be an extension. Copy attributes. Perfect. So I need to install this. Okay, it's installed. I'll just save the preference, and I should be able to copy out exactly. So I can copy the rotation on this. Now we have this. So this is what I did. I'm going to zoom into this point, view frame to selected. So if I want to guess by eye the exact rotation of this, is going to be incorrect, and it might just make things look somehow. But in order to get it, I can select this mesh, select this, and I will do Control C and copy rotation, and we have the exact rotation on this. So I can come to the top view right here, G, scale. I want to scale this down, but use the bounding box. Scale this down, and I think we have the right thing, but I want to make sure. So I'll bring 3D cursor to this point. Now select our mesh and bring this to this point. So I just want to just rotate this freehand a little bit, scale this and GZ. So I think at the end of the day, we might just have to still freestyle the position a little bit, just a little. Can G bring this out, scale this down a little. And I think I can bring this higher. What does it look like here? Higher a little bit. And perfect. I'm not modeling any other thing. So I'm just going to select this, link these two materials together. I'm going to go to, what do you call it? So I'll bring in a wave texture. Right. Connect that to the base color. And then I'll Control T to bring all the other mapping information into this. Okay, so I can increase the scale on this. No, is this still magic texture? Exactly, it should be magic texture. So I'm going to take out the wave texture. So the magic texture I'm going to change to object, and I'm going to increase the scale. So the magic texture is going to make it look like it's a foam, like a cloth. And I'm going to connect this to a couple of things. I'm going to connect this to the normal. Where's the normal information? Okay, here is it. I'm going to connect this to the normal. I'm going to connect factor to normal, and then add a bump to it. I'm going to take out this color information. And for this, I'm just going to change this to height, and we have something going on. So the idea now is to use the exact same color but darker. I'll go back to this and just make this light. I'm going to increase the value a little bit, and then I'll link both. No, I'll copy this color rather, and then I'll paste it in the base color. Then I can reduce the value on this to be dark. So I want some sheen on it, and then I also want to bump up on that roughness. I'll just increase the distance on the clothes on the magic texture so that it's more visible. I think when I switch to cycles, I know how much of that I want in my render. So that's for that. And then I'm going to look at what the inner nest look like. This inner net, I'm going to see what it looks like. I think it's pretty much same color with the outer. So I'm going to link those two materials, but I want this to be a different value. So I would make this a unique material of its own, drop on that metallic, and then I will just make this slightly darker. And then I would select the inner one, link it to this material, and for the inner one I'll make it a new material, and then I'll drop the value on that, so you can easily see that there's an inner compartment to it. Maybe increase the value a little more. So I'm just going to start linking materials to the right objects, and I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to get done with this behind the scene and share with you guys. So that's about it, guys. So long, and until I see you guys in the next one, peace.